Hello, everyone, and welcome back to English Speakology 2.0, the podcast where we help you speak English more naturally, more confidently, and sometimes with a little humor. I'm Ryan, and today we are diving into one of the most fascinating and sometimes confusing parts of English. That topic is phrasal verbs. These little combinations of verbs and short words create expressions that native speakers use every single day.
That's right, Ryan. Phrasal verbs are everywhere in English conversations. You hear them in movies, podcasts, TV shows, and even in casual workplace conversations. If you want to sound like a natural English speaker, understanding phrasal verbs is extremely important. Without them, your English might sound correct, but it could also sound a little robotic.
Exactly. Imagine someone speaking perfect English grammar but avoiding phrasal verbs completely. The sentences might sound a bit formal or unnatural. Native speakers often prefer phrasal verbs because they are quick, expressive, and flexible.
And sometimes they are also confusing, funny, and slightly chaotic. English phrasal verbs behave like mischievous little creatures. Just when you think you understand one of them, it suddenly develops three new meanings.
Yes, and sometimes the meaning of a phrasal verb has absolutely nothing to do with the original verb. For example, the verb look normally means to see something with your eyes. But when you say look up, look into, look after, or look forward to, the meaning changes completely.
Exactly. That is why learners often feel nervous about phrasal verbs. But the good news is that once you understand the patterns, they become much easier to use. In today's episode, we will explore how phrasal verbs work and how they can help you sound more like a native speaker.
Let's start with the basics. A phrasal verb is a combination of a verb and a particle, which is usually a short word like up, down, in, out, on, off, over, or away. When these words combine, they create a new meaning.
For example, the verb pick simply means to choose something or lift something with your fingers. But when you say pick up, the meaning changes. Pick up can mean to lift something, collect someone, or even learn something informally.
Here's a simple sentence. I will pick up my friend from the airport. In this case, pick up means to collect someone.
But if you say, I picked up some Spanish while traveling, the phrase means to learn something casually. Suddenly, the same phrasal verb has a completely different meaning.
This flexibility makes phrasal verbs very powerful in English communication.
Native speakers use phrasal verbs constantly because they sound natural and conversational. In many situations, a phrasal verb sounds more relaxed than a formal verb.
For example, imagine someone saying, please investigate this problem. That sentence is correct, but it sounds very formal. In casual conversation, a native speaker might say, please look into this problem.
Both sentences communicate the same idea. However, the second one sounds more conversational and natural. That is why phrasal verbs appear frequently in everyday speech.
Another example involves the verb continue. If you want someone to keep doing something, you could say, please continue speaking. But a native speaker might say, please carry on.
That phrase sounds smoother and more natural in many contexts.
One thing that makes phrasal verbs interesting is how creative they can be. Some of them describe actions in a very colorful way.
For example, the phrasal verb zone out. When someone zones out, they stop paying attention because they are thinking about something else.
This happens to me during long meetings. My brain suddenly decides to go on vacation without telling me.
Yes, your brain checks out, which is another phrasal verb.
Exactly. Check out can mean to leave a hotel, examine something, or mentally stop paying attention. English is basically a playground of confusing but wonderful expressions.
Let's explore some phrasal verbs that native speakers use every day. One of the most common ones is figure out.
Figure out means to understand or solve something. For example, someone might say, I need to figure out how this software works.
Another common one is run into. When you run into someone, you meet them unexpectedly.
For example, I ran into my old teacher at the supermarket yesterday.
Sometimes those unexpected meetings can be awkward.
Especially if you ran into your teacher while buying 10 boxes of chocolate and pretending it's for a school project.
Another useful phrasal verb is wake up. It simply means to stop sleeping and start the day.
But waking up is not always easy. Some people wake up quickly and feel energetic.
Other people wake up slowly and look like confused zombies.
I belong to the second category.
Yes, Ryan usually needs coffee before he can remember his own name.
Let's talk about a very important phrasal verb, give up. This phrase means to stop trying.
For example, he gave up learning the guitar.
But there's a more positive phrase, keep going.
This means to continue trying even when something is difficult.
For example, she kept going even when the project became challenging.
This phrase is very encouraging. It reminds people that persistence often leads to success.
Another interesting phrasal verb is bring up. This phrase can mean to introduce a topic in conversation.
For example, she brought up an interesting idea during the meeting.
But bring up can also mean to raise a child.
For example, they brought up their children in a small town.
English really enjoys giving one phrase multiple meanings.
Yes, it keeps learners alert.
One secret to mastering phrasal verbs is exposure. The more you hear them, the more natural they become.
Listening to podcasts, watching movies, and reading casual conversations can help you recognize common phrasal verbs.
Another useful strategy is learning them in context, not as isolated vocabulary words.
For example, instead of memorizing look up, learn it inside a sentence like, I looked up the word in the dictionary.
Context makes vocabulary easier to remember.
Let's imagine a funny situation using phrasal verbs.
A student wakes up late and jumps out of bed. He quickly throws on some clothes and runs out the door.
Then he realizes he forgot his homework.
So he runs back home, picks it up, and rushes back to school.
When he finally arrives, the teacher says, class is canceled today.
And that student slowly sits down and zones out for 10 minutes.
That story contains many phrasal verbs, and it sounds exactly like real conversation.
Let's begin with some phrasal verbs related to starting and finishing activities. One very common phrase is start up.
Start up often refers to beginning something, especially a machine or a business. For example, someone might say, he started up a new company last year.
Another example would be, I started up my computer and began working. This phrase sounds natural and casual in conversation.
Now let's look at the opposite idea, which is finishing something. A common phrasal verb here is wrap up.
For example, someone might say, let's wrap up the meeting. This simply means finishing the meeting.
Another sentence could be, we wrapped up the project last week. Native speakers use this phrase frequently in both casual and professional conversations.
Interestingly, wrap up originally referred to physically wrapping something, like wrapping a gift. Over time, it developed the meaning of finishing or concluding something.
Another extremely common phrasal verb is catch up.
Catch up means reaching the same level as someone else or updating yourself on recent information.
For example, if you have not seen a friend in a long time, you might say, let's catch up over coffee. This means you want to talk and share what has happened in your lives.
Students also use this phrase when they fall behind in schoolwork. Someone might say, I missed 2 classes, so I need to catch up.
I remember once missing a week of classes and trying to catch up. It felt like trying to read an entire library in one weekend.
Yes, catching up sometimes requires a lot of coffee and determination.
Let's look at another useful pair of phrasal verbs, cut down and cut back.
Both phrases often mean reducing something.
For example, someone might say, I'm trying to cut down on sugar. This means they want to eat less sugar.
Another example would be, the company is cutting back on expenses. This means the company is reducing its spending.
These phrases appear frequently in conversations about health, budgets, and lifestyle choices.
I once tried to cut down on coffee.
How did that go?
It lasted about 6 hours.
That sounds like a heroic effort.
Another important phrasal verb is find out.
Find out means discovering information.
For example, I found out that the restaurant closes early. This means you learned new information.
Another sentence might be, she found out the answer after researching the topic.
Now let's compare that with point out.
Point out means highlighting or mentioning something important.
For example, he pointed out an error in the report. This means he noticed and mentioned the mistake.
Teachers often point out important details when explaining a topic.
Let's talk about 2 phrasal verbs that sound similar but have very different meanings, turn down and turn up.
Turn down can mean rejecting something.
For example, she turned down the job offer. This means she decided not to accept it.
Turn down can also mean reducing volume. Someone might say, please turn down the music.
Now let's look at turn up.
Turn up can mean increasing volume or appearing somewhere unexpectedly.
For example, he turned up at the party without telling anyone. This means he arrived unexpectedly.
Life is full of surprising turn-ups.
Especially when you open the refrigerator expecting pizza and find only vegetables.
Now let's talk about phrasal verbs that help us discuss problems and solutions. One useful phrase is work out. Work out can mean solving a problem or finding a solution. For example, we worked out the solution together. Another example would be, everything worked out in the end. Interestingly, work out can also refer to exercise. Yes, if someone says, I'm going to work out, they probably mean going to the gym. Or at least thinking about going to the gym. Sometimes thinking about exercise counts as exercise. Another important phrasal verb is look forward to. This phrase means feeling excited about something that will happen in the future. For example, I'm looking forward to the weekend. Another example would be, she is looking forward to her vacation. This phrase appears frequently in emails and conversations. For example, I look forward to meeting you. One important thing about phrasal verbs is that their meaning depends heavily on context. The same phrase can have multiple meanings depending on how it's used. For example, the phrasal verb take off. It can mean removing clothing. For example, he took off his jacket. But it can also mean an airplane leaving the ground. For example, the plane took off on time. And sometimes it even means something becoming popular. For example, her new business really took off.
Let's start with phrasal verbs related to communication. One very common phrase is speak up.
Speak up means talking louder so that people can hear you clearly.
For example, someone might say, could you speak up? I can't hear you.
This phrase often appears in meetings, classrooms, and group discussions.
Another useful expression is bring up.
We briefly mentioned this in an earlier episode, but it is worth repeating because it is extremely common. Bring up means introducing a topic in conversation.
For example, she brought up an interesting question during the meeting.
Sometimes people bring up topics at very unexpected times.
Yes, like bringing up taxes during a birthday party.
That is a guaranteed way to end the celebration quickly.
Another helpful phrasal verb is back up.
Back up means supporting something with evidence or proof.
For example, he backed up his argument with statistics.
It can also mean making a copy of digital files.
For example, remember to back up your computer files.
This is extremely important,
Yes, because losing important files is a nightmare.
especially if those files contain your entire project.
Or your secret recipe for the world's greatest chocolate cake.
Let's talk about phrasal verbs that help describe handling difficult situations. One useful phrase is deal with.
Deal with means managing or handling a problem.
For example, she dealt with the situation calmly.
Another example would be, we need to deal with this issue before it becomes bigger.
Life is full of situations that require patience and problem solving.
Especially when technology stops working.
Yes, technology sometimes seems to break down at the worst possible moment.
For example, during an important presentation. Or
5 minutes before a deadline.
now let's explore phrasal verbs related to emotions and behavior.
One very common phrase is calm down.
Calm down means becoming less angry, nervous, or excited.
For example, take a deep breath and calm down.
Another useful phrase is slow down.
This phrase can mean reducing speed or becoming more relaxed.
For example, you're speaking too quickly. Please slow down.
Language learners often hear this advice when practicing conversation.
Speaking slowly helps listeners understand you better.
Another excellent phrasal verb is come up with.
Come up with means creating or inventing an idea.
For example, she came up with a brilliant solution.
Another sentence could be, we need to come up with a new marketing strategy.
This phrase is extremely common in brainstorming sessions.
And brainstorming sessions often involve coffee.
Lots of coffee.
Sometimes so much coffee that ideas start coming up very quickly.
Let's talk about another useful expression, go through.
Go through can mean examining something carefully.
For example, let's go through the report together.
It can also mean experiencing a difficult situation.
For example, she went through a challenging year.
This phrase appears frequently in both professional and personal conversations.
Now let's look at a very casual phrasal verb, hang out.
Hang out means spending time with friends in a relaxed way.
For example, we hung out at the cafe all afternoon.
Another example would be, let's hang out this weekend.
This phrase is extremely common among friends,
And sometimes hanging out means doing absolutely nothing.
which can be surprisingly enjoyable.
Another friendly phrasal verb is drop by.
Drop by means visiting someone briefly without a long plan.
For example, feel free to drop by my office later.
This phrase sounds warm and welcoming,
But sometimes unexpected visitors drop by at inconvenient moments.
like when you are cleaning the house and everything is already messy.
Or when you're eating the last slice of pizza and suddenly someone appears.
That is a very dangerous situation. Another extremely useful phrasal verb is keep up.
Keep up means maintaining the same pace or level as someone else.
For example, it's hard to keep up with new new technology.
Another example would be, she works hard to keep up with her studies.
This phrase is very common in conversations about learning and productivity.
Using phrasal verbs makes your English sound more natural because native speakers rely on them constantly.
They help conversations flow smoothly and feel more relaxed.
Without them, sentences can sound overly formal.
Imagine someone saying, "I would like to socialize casually with my friends."
That sounds like a formal invitation letter.
A native speaker would simply say, "I want to hang out with my friends."
That sentence sounds much more natural.
Today we explored several advanced phrasal verbs that can make your English sound more fluent and natural.
We discussed expressions like speak up, deal with, calm down, come up with, go through, hang out, drop by, and keep up.
Each of these phrases appears frequently in everyday conversations.
By learning and practicing them regularly, you can upgrade your speaking skills significantly.
Fluency is not only about grammar, it is also about choosing vocabulary that feels natural in conversation.
And phrasal verbs are one of the most important tools for achieving that natural rhythm.
Thank you for joining us on English Speakology 2.0.
We hope this series helps you feel more confident using phrasal verbs.
Keep practicing, keep listening, and keep exploring the fascinating world of English.
And remember, the best way to improve is to keep speaking.
We will see you in the next episode of English Speakology.